Hey everyone, so we've all been told that to get healthy, you've got to push yourself, right? You have to sweat, you have to feel the burn. But what if that entire idea is just wrong? Today, we're going to dive into the physics and the biology that prove your body was designed for one thing above all else, just walking.
Now, that whole no pain, no gain philosophy, it's been drilled into us forever. We think the harder it hurts, the better it's working for us. But the science, the story that's written directly into our own skeletons, tells a completely different and honestly a much easier story.
So let's actually answer that question. If it's not grueling high-intensity workouts or lifting heavy weights, what is the one single activity that 4 million years of evolution has absolutely perfected in the human machine? Well, the answer is a whole lot simpler than you might think.
Okay, first things first. We have to dismantle the modern culture of exercise. Because to really get what our bodies need, you have to see just how recent and, frankly, how strange our current fitness habits really are.
I mean, just look at this. The sheer scale of this mismatch it's mind-boggling. Our bodies have been meticulously engineered over 4 million years for a very specific purpose. And modern gym culture, it's barely 60 years old. In our evolutionary history, that's not even our rounding error.
All right, now for the really cool part. Let's pop open the hood and take a look at the incredible physics and biomechanics that make you, yes you, the most efficient long-distance walker on the entire planet.
Okay, so this is the secret sauce. Walking isn't just about moving your legs, it's basically a form of controlled falling. With every single step, your body's center of mass vaults up and over your planted leg, just like a pendulum that's been flipped upside down. You trade that forward momentum for a little bit of height, and then gravity just gives all that energy right back to you on the way down.
Think about that. Up to 65% of the energy you use to walk is recycled by gravity. For free. Physics is doing most of the work here, not your muscles. It's an absolutely astonishing feat of natural engineering that no machine in a gym could ever hope to replicate.
And this shows a really crucial difference in our design. Walking is your body's cruise control. It's super efficient, very low impact. Running, that uses a totally different system, one that's more like a pogo stick or a bouncing spring. It's really for emergencies. It costs twice the energy and slams your joints with almost 3 times the force.
And just look at the blueprint. It's written right into your bones. Every part of your skeleton was redesigned from our ape ancestors for this one purpose. That S-shaped spine of yours, it's a shock absorber. Your broad pelvis, that's for stability. And your foot's arch and that massive Achilles tendon, they literally store and return energy with every single step you take.
You know, this is a whole body event. Even something as simple as swinging your arms isn't just a random habit. It's a critical part of the design. That simple motion actually cancels out the twisting force from your legs, and that saves you about 12% more energy. Your entire body is a finely tuned walking symphony.
Okay, so we've covered the physics. Now let's shift gears and jump over to anthropology. What happens when we look at people who still live a lifestyle pretty similar to the one our bodies were actually built for?
I want you to meet the Hadza of Tanzania. They don't exercise, they just live. And that life involves a lot of walking. When you put their daily activity next to ours, the difference is just staggering. We are operating at a tiny fraction of our design capacity.
And the results of all this constant moderate movement are just astounding. The Hadza have incredibly good heart health, and they stay physically strong well into old age. But here's the real kicker. They burn the same total number of calories each day as a sedentary person in the West. The difference is where that energy goes. For them, it fuels movement and body maintenance. For us, it often fuels systems that are stressed out from inactivity. This leads to this really powerful idea called the active grandparent hypothesis. Basically, sustained movement is a biological signal. It tells your body, hey, I'm still active, I'm still useful out here, and that tells it to keep investing in repair and maintenance. When you stop walking, the body kind of gets the message to start shutting those systems down. Okay, that's all fascinating, but what does modern data tell us? Let's look at some huge studies that confirm what our ancestors knew instinctively. And trust me, the results are really surprising. Seriously, forget everything you've ever heard about hitting 10 or 12,000 steps a day. The science shows that the threshold for massive health benefits is much, much lower than you think. Get this, just 2,300 steps a day. That's maybe a 15 or 20-minute stroll, and that's the point where you start to see measurable protection for your heart and your blood vessels. That's an incredibly low bar to clear. And it gets even better. Bump that up to just 4,000 steps, and your risk of dying from any cause starts to fall dramatically. This proves you do not need to run a marathon to fundamentally change your health for the better.
Now this part is key. There's a point of diminishing returns. The biggest life-saving benefits happen in that first leap from being sedentary to just being moderately active. The sweet spot, for most people, is nowhere near some extreme athletic goal.
And here it is, the world's most famous fitness goal. Where did it come from? You're going to love this. It wasn't born in a research lab. It was born in a marketing department. The number 10,000 was just a catchy brand name for a Japanese pedometer. It had absolutely no scientific basis whatsoever.
So, let's bring all this together. What does it all mean? What's the big takeaway from the fact that our bodies are built this way? This right here, this is our biological superpower. That incredible 75% efficiency advantage over our closest living relatives, that is what allowed our ancestors to get out there, to explore, and to thrive. Efficient walking isn't just an exercise, it's literally the foundation of our species' success.
Just let this one sink in for a minute. Sitting around isn't a neutral state. It is actively depriving your body of the mechanical signals it desperately needs to repair itself. We have engineered walking right out of our daily lives, and our bodies are paying a heavy price for it.
Look, your body is the stunning result of the longest and most successful engineering project in the history of life on Earth. So the next time you go for a walk, I want you to recognize that you're not just exercising. You are performing the single physical act that made us human. And the real question is, when was the last time you truly appreciated it?